belt on radio. Yeah. What can I say? Well, yesterday was Valentine, and hope the hangover, for some persons who actually went out to do some stuff. Hope you did not trouble any part of your body too much. Now only you know witty you think. All right, this is Matters on this super dial. On this mega dial. Okay, on this super mega dial 90.3 FM. What's my name? My friends call me Sweet MC, but my name is Jude. Ikami Jude. And today we will be going political. Yeah, we're going to be discussing politics today, and I've got a big man in the studio. I bet you want to know who this person is. Okay, yeah. Like I said, I've got someone who is in the studio right now with me. Like I said, he's a big man. When I say a big man, he's a big man. First of all, okay, let's do it this way. We're streaming live, okay? Yeah, we're streaming live across all of our social media platforms. And, of course, you can go to YouTube, especially. I love it when you go there for me so we can talk. Yeah, when you drop your opinion there and I get to pick it up and read it, I like it that way. Okay, so you just go. We're streaming live right now, so go to YouTube and see this person I'm talking about. All right, just right there on YouTube. He is in the studio, and let me see if you can spot him. If you can, if you recognize him anywhere. I don't know if you've seen him before, but I would get to tell you who he is. For some of you who cannot go straight up to YouTube right now and see this person I am talking about. But then we will be having a robust discussion today, right? Yeah, we'll be having a very, very robust discussion this beautiful afternoon. We'll be talking about Lagos State. Yeah, what is happening in this city as regards the 2023 election. What's happening? Where do we go? Is everything okay? All of these questions begging for possible answers that you'll get to find out in a jiffy, okay? But then I will tell you who this person is, like right now. Just stay there. Let me go on this break, and when I'm back, I will introduce the big man to you. Stay there. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kule people they strike. We don't become control strikers.
Even light self, they no fit give us.
Don't run for motor. Even leg self can get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára, òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọ fi ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze temeka muna so mekio.
What do we want? Na make the rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Some call it life adjustments, but our world has taken a different but dangerous look.
My husband does not just beat me up, but he uses an object to forcefully remove my finger right before my eyes.
Agnes, help me. The God of heaven. Oh, God, go to my rescue.
With happenings that are alien to the human race.
I was in prison for 39 years for a crime I did not commit.
Since I clocked the age of 9, I have always been raped by my father, and now I am 18, and I still battle with him.
Unthinkable, unimaginable, and very unfriendly acts have been recorded in every sphere of human existence. Join Jude, Ikame Jude, on Matters, weekdays, noon to 3 p.m. on VOP 90.3 FM. As he dissects and addresses these challenges called the new norm in our political, social, religious, and cultural space. But then, are you comfortable with this new norm? Be part of this conversation because your opinion matters.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Now, I told you something that I will, of course, introduce someone to you. Now, let me see if I can. He's got a very, very robust CV that is getting me unstable, kind of. Okay, let me see if I can touch on it. Let me first of all let you know that I have got a governorship aspirant in the studio. Okay? Yeah. I've got a governorship aspirant in the studio. And, well, he is the governorship aspirant of Action Alliance. Okay? Action Alliance, AA. He has done so much for himself, a whole lot. Let me just see if I can glance through a little bit of his profile right now. Like I said, it's quite lengthy, but then I'll just touch on, just a few, some. Okay. First of all, he has interfaced as a certified edutech professional with Paragon Children's Schools, Sarigamu, Lagos, to facilitate the establishment of an individualized model of instruction for pre-primary and primary school pupils for the past 5 academic sessions. A managing partner at Technologies Company. He worked at Databyte Computers Nigeria Limited, Apapa, as a program coordinator and system engineer. He's trained and certified on system engineering and networking by Africa Development Initiative. Masters of Education, that is educational technology, with a PhD grade from the National Open University of Nigeria. He's got a Bachelor of Science, Computer Science Education, actually second class upper from UNN. And of course, he's successfully been the president of the National Association of Mathematics Students of Nigeria, Federal College of Education, Akoka, Lagos. Successfully been the academic director of the National Association of Computer Science Students of Nigeria Federal College of Education, Tech, Akoka, Lagos. Also served as Secretary SUG Electoral Committee, FCE, Akoka, and member Ijebode Grammar School Old Boys Association. A whole lot right here, a whole lot, much more here. He's done a lot for himself. But please, let me formally say he is, in case I've not mentioned it or I mentioned it, he didn't take note of. He is the governorship aspirant of Action Alliance here in Lagos State. I'm talking about Mr. No, there's a name I wonder. There is a name I actually wanted to call him, but then let me not. Don't worry. I'll do that. I'll do that much more later. But then I'm talking about Mr. Tope Abdulrasaq Balogun. A beautiful welcome to you to our studio for the very first time.
Yes, this is the first time I'm attending.
Good to have you join us today.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hope the way you're looking right now is the way Lagos under you is going to look.
Yes, much more better, I think. I'm a calm person.
Yeah.
Progressive in nature, focused, and directional. So those are the things we'll be bringing on board for Lagos that we all crave. When things will normalize and we have the comfort that we crave, such that at the end of the day we won't have to leave the shore of this country to other places to go and be living as second-class citizens. What makes people leave Nigeria as a whole is because of discomfort. And the hallmark of governance is provision of comfort, tranquility, succor to its residents. So if all those things are provided by government, I think we are strong enough to make ends meet. We are studious people, we are ingenious, we are innovative, and we have the internal inspiration of willingness to do things. But the government is not giving us the right environment to trying. That is why people are moving.
Good. No. With that, see, I said that we'd have a very robust conversation today. So we'll take it bit by bit.
No problem.
So Lagosians will understand what has been going on, what's been going on even right now. Okay. Now let's talk about. Let's start from your candidacy. How has campaign been so far? What is the level of acceptability so far since you started, your campaign?
Fortunately for me, I have been finding people accepting the new breeds of politicians these days, and which I happen to be a part of. Plus, I've been in politics for quite some time, for more than 2 decades now, but coming out to contest the position of governorship has been something that we are not used to, having people like me coming out to challenge the status quo. Many people that
how do you mean you're not used to people like you?
Yes, people that we are used to, because I've been part of the system for quite some time, are people that have served as possibly senators or something of such. They are being in the corridors of power.
Okay.
And they will always want to use that influence to get people interested in them. But we have seen that it's not going to work, and it's not working because of the landmines and bottlenecks that the government setting is characterized with, especially through the two prominent political parties. And that is why some of us that are like minds, we're not like, we need a revolution. But the revolution must come through the ballot, which is the legitimate means of removing somebody from power and installing somebody legitimately. So we have to now sit down and look at our strategies, and that is what we designed. We designed a roadmap on how we are going to go about it, and we don't have their financial strength, but we have the intellectual capacity to beat them to their game. So we now started planning our strategies, and the system we adopted designed a rebirth agenda, REBIRTH, and that is what I'm representing. So campaign has been sweet. We have our strategies. We are not using the regular style that has not been productive. that is the style that has always made them to fall back to rigging elections to win in the long run. Even after rigging, buying elections, doing all sorts of manipulations, they couldn't still muster 1 million votes ever since they have been having elections in Lagos.
Okay.
So we have designed a model where we are going to surpass them and win this election. So our campaign has been strategic.
Okay, now strategy. Talking about strategy, I don't know if I should ask you to tell us, what this strategy is all about, but I want to believe that it's your personal arrangement that you're putting in place to win the election. But then we will delve into matters in Lagos State, one after the other. But then I want to find out your challenges so far.
Well, the challenge I have had so far is that they have weaponized poverty so much that an average Lagosian or an electorate wants you to give them something for them to even listen to you, even if they are not going to accept you. When they accept you, they will still want you to give them something to oil their needy nature, because the Maslow's theory of Maslow's pyramids tells us that everybody is having a need for the lowest bottom of the pyramid. That is a physiological need. Then people will now move on top the pyramid, like 5 stages of the pyramid. But many people are still within the bottom space of that pyramid. What to eat, where to live, how to sleep, how to drink, how to even survive and live towards the next day is a major challenge to an average Lagosian. So that has been the bone of contention for us. Because when you meet people, you tell them these are your traducers, they agree with you, they agree that politics is a game of number, they agree that things can get better for them if some people like us are on board. But at the end of the day, they will still ask you, what are you giving us economically right now to even solve,
now?
Yes, right now to even solve their.
You're talking about stomach infrastructure.
Yes, even when stomach infrastructure is part of the regular thing a government should provide. It's not bad if you have something of such. These things happen in Sena climbs too, that they even have better arrangements. But it is not that we have so much people within that line of need, where the higher percentage of people will be clamoring for stomach infrastructure. The people that should clamor for stomach infrastructures are people that are not having the capacity to gain employment, or they are not having the capacity to work again because of their age or because of their physical or mental challenge. So if you are not within those boundaries, I think you should ordinarily have a job that should be provided by the government or private sector, or a job that you can do through your own skill and talent. So these are the things the government should be giving as enabling environment for people to exist and live, and not just existing without having a life. And that is what we have been facing presently. So they have made the democratic process to be so expensive that if you are not too financially buoyant and not having a very big sponsors that are having large pockets, you may eventually chicken out. In fact, there was one of our interns that brought it to me that they said, I'm not going to last long till now. And I think that has been giving them problems.
Really?
Yes, they thought I actually made my declaration May 14th last year. And it was like, where is this one coming from? It was like a surprise. And they were like, go and run through his bank accounts, run through his property, run through so many things. And what they came up with was that he doesn't have the money to execute what elections will take. And he's going to chicken out before December. And they were surprised by that. As at December, we are waxing stronger, and we have our party established because we adopted Action Alliance in I think 2020. That was when.
Oh, really?
So many of us left our political parties. We are prominent in our political parties. I was part of PDP at the time. I was part of APC. I was the state secretary of CPC at the time in Lagos State. When we now metamorphosed into APC, I was part of the caretaker committee of people that started APC in Lagos. So
really?
Yes, I would ordinarily would have sat down in my comfort zone. But we are talking about a social change that is needed by people from the downtrodden, especially the people in that class are really suffering. And these are the people we live with. These are the people that we mingle with. We understand that they have the capacity to go beyond their present situation. But the government is not giving them the enabling environment. And at the end of the day, those that are even at an upper echelon of the class in our system are even living the chores of this country, that they have what you call the Jackpot syndrome. Is that how the country is going to continue to be? Where at the end of the day, we now have the survival of the fittest of almost every now and then. We have the problem of recruitment of people from the downtrodden into street urchins and making them political thugs, making them to involve themselves in clandestine activities. We have lesser number of schools, classes for pupils, and at the end of the day, we have children that are brought up morally from their parents' home at the primary school stage, going to the public school. Within 3 years, they turn themselves to street urchins because they are no more having the supervision that is necessary for them to thrive in these government schools. What they now do is form gangs, become trans, and at the end of the day, they want to live life. Now have some of them introducing them into gangsterism, cultism, and this thuggery stuff.
Okay.
And before you know it, we have many of them turning to louts, and they'll be recruited into the society. Before now, we don't have as much as what we have as street urchins today. Many of them are being recruited through our secondary schools in Lagos because we have overbloated.
Are you sure?
Learners. Yes, these are practical things. I live in Orile Gomu. Orile Gomu is closer to the slums.
Okay.
So we live among them. I'm a street guy. I understand the street. I understand what happens. We have seen so many of these children leave their homes as responsible kids, but within 3 years of getting to the public schools, they will turn into terrors. Because the school, I have an opportunity of becoming a school board. Yeah, it's what it calls.
But all of that
SBMC.
is courtesy of who or what?
That's courtesy of the government irresponsibility. Because when you have a system that is having people migrating in as much as 20 million, 30 million into Lagos, we are having people giving birth almost every day in Lagos State. And we are not having commensurate expansion of social facilities. Then the existing infrastructures will be so much stressed, and we now have the survival of the fittest. And that is what late Lateef Jakonde, to his glory, he solved through sensitization of schooling system in his own period. So many people would have been deprived of having a regular formal education if he had not built many classes that would bring so many people into school system. So now they are not building they are not building classes. They are only window dressing educational supports. They are window dressing educational development. We still have classes having 200 learners, and there is no way a teacher will be able to supervise such a number of learners. So some of them will not even go to class. They will just be hanging around the school. And if the school authority don't want them to deface the ambience of the school, they will threaten them. They will now have to regroup outside the school. So they won't bother coming into the school. And before you know it, they will expand in size, in numbers, and that is what is happening practically. And after school hours, go to that axis and make your research. Even if it is not in recent time that the community has to come in and look at a way of having its own policing system to reduce the menace of street fights among these learners. Always having street fights between one school and the other. And many of these pupils are pupils that are supposed to be responsible pupils. Responsible learners. because they were well brought up. But the school environment changed them.
Okay.
Because they were not well managed. The provision is not there for them to actually sit in classes. And their parents are even made to be so busy because almost everything that the government is supposed to provide today, the family are the ones providing them. So the family has to work extra hours out of their home. So the parenting level, the quality of parenting has reduced.
Now, let's talk from this point now. Let's come back to Lagos State.
Yes.
If you eventually become the governor of this state, Lagos State, what would you do differently?
So many things will be done differently, and that is why the Rebirth agenda is not just an
Tell us about your Rebirth agenda, first of all.
The Rebirth agenda has come to take care of different sectors of our economy and the sectors of governance in Lagos, such that at the end of the day, the hallmark of governance, which is bringing comfort to residents. Okay. No, it is not. Government is not supposed to make you to be enriched. If you want to get riches, wealth, you have to work for it. Mm-hmm. You have to invest in different things. But if you want to be a leader of a government, you should be thinking about how to provide succor to the people that live under your auspices, under your guidance, or under your leadership as the head of the government. So we designed that Rebirth agenda, and the first R talks about restoration of security of lives and property, which is the major challenge we are having in Lagos. Lagos State is having security issues, and we want to look at the security of lives and property from 3 point view or viewpoint. Okay. The first part we want to look at is our security network to secure Lagos. We are looking at the 3 stages of security, and we are going to be making provisions for employment opportunities for people that want to work within that system. The vigilance stage, where we are going to employ people to work at that level for 6 hours per day. They can also do other jobs. Then they will be paid for working as our vigilance team. And they will work in synergy with another level of team that will be handling surveillance, where gadgets and patrol vehicles and some other things will be deployed, so that when you know almost everybody.
These are part of your plans?
Yes, part of our plans for security, for the security network aspect. And the last stage is the proactive aspect, where we are going to support the federal government police with arms and ammunition and other apparatus that will be needed for them to be able to round up anybody that is into clandestine activities. And with that also, we are going to bring the judicial part of our government to be at almost every station, where cases that are supposed to go to court will be handled almost immediately, and cases that are not supposed to go to court will be handled almost through the advice of our councils that will be working with different police stations. So we now have case of social injustice and the likes. Let me quickly go to other part of our restoration of security of life. We are talking about this disaster management. The responsiveness of our government today is so poor that if we have flood issues in Lagos, it must destroy property, it must kill some people before we have people coming on board to say what are the things we are going to do. These are not supposed to happen, because perennial flooding is something that we are getting used to all over the world now, not even in Lagos alone. There should be a proactive measure which we have designed already through the people that are with us, using the knowledge of civil engineering and using the knowledge of topography of Lagos. We have identified those places where flood actually made people to lose property and even take life of Lagosians. We are looking at designing trenches that will be able to carry most of those water away almost immediately after rain falls or as rain falls. Then we will be looking at bringing in the technology of sluice gates to reduce the pressure of floods, because the pressure of the flood is what actually destroys most of this property. Is the pressure of that flood that carry people away, that make them to lose their life. So when they deploy the technology of sluice gates, we already mapped out those topography of where the floods are actually happening within Lagos. Where immediately rain starts to fall, and we have the device to measure the pressure of the water that is flowing. The sluice gate will just be deployed, and the sluice gate is going to reduce the pressure. If the sluice gate reduces the pressure of the flood, definitely it will not be able to carry anybody away. It will not be able to carry any car away. It will not be able to destroy any house. Then we build trenches where the water will just flow naturally. Within few minutes after rainfall, our roads will be dry, as if we did not have an heavy rain. And with this, we would have reduced successive loss of life through rainfall. Also, we are looking at bringing into every local government and every wards a mini truck designed for fire incidents, to tackle fire incidents. Because today, I've never seen in recent times where there will be fire incidents and we are not going to be having a house destroyed completely.
Okay.
It will have been destroyed completely before we now have people coming, and we have people getting themselves wounded that are not trained to be firefighters, getting involved, and at the end of the day. So these are things we will be creating. And with all this, we would have created nothing less than 50,000 to 100,000 jobs for Lagosians. After that, we have our E. Our E wants to tackle education that will be free, accessible, and effective.
Also, your government is going to make education free?
Yes, for primary schools and secondary schools. And we are going to subsidize as much as possible the tertiary part of Lagos State education in Lagos State, so the tertiary institutions in Lagos State. We are going to bring back our polytechnics. We are going to bring back our colleges of education, because there are purposes for which all these type of institutions are created. But I'm just surprised that Lagos State cancelled outrightly its colleges of education. They just converted everything to university. They converted our polytechnics to university.
Well, we have a polytechnic.
We don't have a polytechnic again in Lagos. Yes, we do have a polytechnic before now, but it has been converted. And now they have reduced the population of intakes that are supposed to be having opportunity to higher institution, higher education in Lagos. It is only those people that were in school before that are going to graduate through those polytechnics. They have converted them into universities. The colleges of education, we have two in Lagos before. We have one at Ijaniki, we have another one at Ekpe. They have been converted into universities.
But don't you think they are still playing the same role?
They are not. They are not, because in education, we have the NUC, we have those that are in charge of the polytechnics, and we have those that are in charge of the colleges of education. They have their objectives, and they have the goal that are set out to be achieved through, because when you take all of them, when you cancel all these things, that means Lagos State is not going to be having any dealing with the federal government establishment that's supposed to monitor polytechnics, and we are not going to be achieving any of the aims and objectives for creating any polytechnic. And we'll be having a reduction in number, because it is quota system that is being used for any employment, for any admission purpose into different courses in different, and the standard of, the requirement for every course is different at the polytechnic level, is different at the university level, is different at the college of education level. Okay. So the present state of our college, of our universities, that the college of education and the what's it called, the polytechnic that were converted, is that they may not be having a lot of accredited courses.
Oh, really?
Yes, because the NUC will give them conditions to be met, which is of possible higher value, higher requirement than what is to be met at the polytechnic level or at the what's it called, the colleges of education level.
Okay.
You know, we have the professor level. Most of the time, professors are at the university. You don't need to be a professor to lecture at the colleges of education and the polytechnics. And these are not the requirements anyway. So when you are not required to have them, but now they are bringing. Look at, as at I think last month, I read that the LASUSTEC, the former Lagos State Polytechnic, that is supposed to be having opportunity to have ND students combined with HND students, having given them opportunity of, like, let me say 5,000 to 10,000 admissions. We now have a LASUSTEC that is telling us that it cannot accommodate more than 1,800 students.
Okay.
Is that a plus? Definitely is a minus to the goal of getting everybody educated in one way or the other. So these are some of the things we are going to be looking at if I become the governor of Lagos State. I'm going to actually sustain the LASUSTEC and the LASUED that has been created, and I'm going to evolve and build polytechnics for Lagos, colleges of education for Lagos, because we need it. Looking at the cosmopolitan nature of Lagos, looking at the mega city status of Lagos, we have close to 30 million people in Lagos. The number of the institution in Lagos is not even enough for us as Lagosians. We are now talking about eradicating the ones that are existing. I think it is technically wrong, but we are going to come on board to support that. Then, like I said, we have lesser number of classrooms. They are building schools with technology equipped facilities. For which type of learners?
Okay.
When we have a lot of learners that are out of school, not because they want to be out of school, just get that right. It is because the government is not having a provision for them in most of these schools. You tell me you want to go and you want to do advocacy that people should go to schools, people should live. But when they get to that school, there is no provision for them. There's nowhere to sit.
Are you saying now that the government of Babajide Sanwo-Olu is not doing enough in education, in the area of education?
He's not doing enough in so many sectors. Like I started with security. Can you see what I've explained? Has it done enough in terms of security arrangements? I talked about disaster management. Has it done enough in that? And that's why I said our Rebirth agenda is taking care of almost every sector. Now I'm into education. I've started with the higher institution, the tertiary institution. We cannot see the lacuna that have been created because of indecisive, or let me say technical error in decision making. You don't chase clouds with governance. You don't chase clouds with governance. You don't want people to just applaud you because you are the governor. Being a governor means you must be responsible for the comfort of people living under the state you govern. Why are we having the comfort? I'm talking about education now. We're talking about like 2 million people out of 2 million children out of school in Lagos. And I'm telling you, even if you want to take them back to school, where are you taking them back to? People that are even struggling to go into those schools, they are turning into street urchins eventually. That is why we have multiple mushroom schools here and there as private schools. Do you know why? Like I told somebody, I said, if the government does the right thing, we don't need to be banning most of these schools. Most of these schools will close down naturally. Okay. They will close down by themselves. In fact, the proprietors of most of these schools will even go and seek for employment with government schools if the government provide enough schools and enough facilities in those schools. We still have so many schools that pupils are sitting on floor and the likes.
Okay.
So many things. Yeah. Then the extend to energy too. Okay. We are looking at independent power plant projects in different communities. Most of our communities don't necessarily need to be attached to the national grid, because what we use electricity for in most of these communities don't necessarily need to get themselves attached to where they will be exploited. Today, the national power provider are exploiting people from the downtrodden. They will just give them charges. They are not even giving them the prepaid meter that's supposed to manage. But when you create all these small things, people will just need them for few hours that they will be at home to charge their phones, to relax, possibly watch television, listen to radio, and do so many other things. So many of them, that is what they use our power for. So by the time you create all these things, they will be attached to it.
Okay.
And you give them almost 24 hours power supply.
Now,
and the people that will be attached to the national grid, the ones that will be provided by the national grid, will be enough for them to use.
Okay. Mr. Tokwe, you see, let's go to a different terrain right now.
Okay.
It's important for us to talk about money.
Yes.
It's also important for us to talk about IGR. And that's what we're going to right now. People feel that the government of Babajide Sanwo-Olu has done pretty well, you know, in I know you will smile.
I smile, yes. I'm smiling. Yes, because you know, when you possess information, you'll be at a vantage point.
Hold on. Lagos State, as at 2022, generated about 753 billion naira in 2022, and of course, let me break it down. Alimosho in Lagos State is the local government that generates the highest, you know, in Lagos State so far. And people are looking at, okay, fine. If you are opportune to become the governor of Lagos State, how will you how will you utilize these funds to the betterment of, you know, the state, Lagosians? And that's vis-a-vis what Alimosho generates, basically.
Let me quickly say sometimes I laugh when we talk about money generation in Lagos. Money generation in Lagos is something that comes naturally because of the population of Lagos State, because of the commercial hub it is. So what you only need is people that will go and collect the money.
Enforcement.
Right? And there are leakages that has shown to us, me and my team, that we have the opportunity to have 300% of what is being generated today. In fact, from that, our
can you say that again?
Yes.
What did you say?
We have the opportunity. Lagos State has opportunity of generating 300% of what it is generating presently, if the right apparatus are deployed into the community.
How do you mean? How are you going to generate that?
Yes.
You mean 300%?
300%, yes.
Of what was generated last year?
What is generated monthly?
700 and... Okay, monthly.
Monthly, yes.
Okay.
We are going to generate better, far better than what they are generating, because we are going to block so many leakages. And we are going to bring...
What are these leakages you're talking about?
Well, if you have been following me before now, I'll address some of them. Let me quickly talk about it now.
Okay.
Today, in Lagos, we have a consulting firm for Lagos that is managing our internal generated revenue.
Okay.
And they have been able to give us the opportunity to know where some things are in terms of the money of Lagos. Then they now brought our IGR to a very higher level than what it was in the past. I think there should be a review to the relationship between our LIRS and that particular company. I don't expect that the percentage that they are on before they trained our officers, Lagos State employed LIRS officers, is the same percentage that should be sustained till date. Even though if we are going to still allow them to be our consultants, I think there should be a review in the sharing ratio. The ratio is just too much. When you set up a new business, the technicalities are different from when you want to sustain an existing business. Now we have so many trained hands that are doing the job. Those consultants have shown them the method of doing it, and our people are doing it well. They are no more following them all about, like they started with when they started the fund generation. So why are we still sustaining the higher percentage? Is that not a very big leakage? We have so many people that are not deliberately caught by our tax nets. It is not because they don't know they are not paying, but it is because we have what we call the untouchables.
In Lagos?
In Lagos. In fact, it was even revealed by the commissioner that resigned last year, that commissioner for physical planning.
Yeah.
He said it, that they will even mark a house for demolition, or that they should stop work. They will put barricade, and a singular individual will come and ask them to continue, that nobody can stop them and nobody has the power. We had to resign because it was becoming frustrating and people are dying, and he knew that those deaths will be accounted to his own incompetence. When he is not actually incompetent, it is just because of the flaw of our person that is supposed to use the big stick to establish his authority. He's not having that authority. In administration, they call something delegation of authority. Whenever you delegate authority, you must delegate with its power. Whenever you delegate, you must delegate it with authority and power.
Yeah.
But now we have people that are delegated to sit down in positions, but they are not having the authority, they are not having the power. So many of these things will be blocked. In fact, when we did our own research, we were able to identify that if we are able to block them, we will have trillions of naira that we are going to support 5 million traders with a minimum of 500,000 naira within 1 year. 5 million traders will be given grants of minimum of 500,000 within 1 year, and we'll still be having leftovers from that leakages that we have blocked.
Okay.
So these are things that we have seen in government that makes us to know that the money is there to turn this Lagos around and make it a better place than Dubai. Dubai does not have what we have in Lagos. People want to go to Dubai today as if they are going to a country. Dubai is a state under United Arab Emirates. But do you know many people don't even know Dubai is a state? Many people think Dubai is like we are going to Nigeria, we are going to America, we are going to the UK. Dubai is just like we are going to Lagos. And that is what Lagos represents in Nigeria. But unfortunately, we are having people that we can say they have an issue with kleptomanism. Before they get into power, they have the money. When they are in power, the budget has made provisions for them to be comfortable. But eventually, what do we have? We have them not giving back to the society what the budget has created for the society to develop and thrive. And these are the real issues. We only need people that will come up. Like, I was a student of Lateef Jakonde at his Jakonde Progressive Movement for like 2 years. I attended his weekly meetings in his residence at Ilpeju. And one of those things we learned was that to be a good leader, there are 2 things you must possess. You must have the willpower to do things, and you must be contented with whatever you have. If you are not having contentment, you can never be a successful leader, because almost everything you want almost everything to belong to you. You usurp people's rights, you usurp people's opportunities just because you are a klepto. And that is the problem Lagos State is having as at present. It's not that we don't have the resources. So everything that I've mentioned in various interviews, everything we have mapped out in my manifesto, everything we have identified with our Rebirth agenda can be achieved within 4 years. If you look at Jakonde's achievement, it is the best that Lagos State has ever achieved since Lagos State was created, and he achieved it within 4 years.
Okay. Now, you're praying and working hard to become the next governor of Lagos State.
Yes, and I'm seeing myself winning this election.
Okay. I will get there, because I would ask you if you see yourself winning the election. You already answered that, but there is another angle to that.
No problem.
Now, there are basic things that an average Lagosian or Lagosians who want to hear you talk about. Now,
what are those?
Is electricity, road, okay, These two are so very important. I remember you mentioned security,
yes.
right? You mentioned security, but then people are talking about roads. People are talking about electricity. What are you going to do when you become governor?
I've mentioned under energy that we are going to be creating independent power projects in different communities. We are going to be partnering with different people. We have seen people gone to something like IFEA, where the Israeli government came to monitor their prototypes. And they did things that were converting waste into energy that can be used for cooking, that can even be used to light and generate electrical power. They have their prototypes already patent. They have the patent prototyped at Abuja. We followed all those things online. We met some of these young chaps. We met some of the established companies that are looking forward to be engaged. They are going to make their money, and the people are going to get their comfort. And these are the things we will be bringing on board. So there will not be a need for an industrialized company to go and bribe the PSCN workers that they should switch off some people's lights so that they can give them power generation. You know, people will be comfortable having lights in. So on that electricity, then on roads, I think our roads are not being well managed because the government is not bringing people to do their original CSR job, community and social responsibilities that they are supposed to do.
Okay.
Instead, they are just banning everything, just banning. Just somebody will just wake up because he doesn't want to actually address the issue. We just ban. NURTW are supposed not to be banned. They are not supposed to be converted into whatever they have converted themselves into now, because they just changed them. The activities and modus operandi are still the same. I call them inconsequential people that are not adding any value to our economy, but they are living larger than people that are even gone to higher institutions and suffered to attain different skills. But what are the NRW supposed to do? They are supposed to generate revenue through their unions, not in this method they are actually using.
Okay.
Then they are supposed to be doing CSR by supporting the government in constructing inner roads where most of their vehicles ply. And they are going to have a design for maintenance through the money that they have collected. And that's the circle supposed to just go. And we will not be having problem of roads here and there. Then the local governments are supposed to be having a number of roads that they are supposed to design and construct every year. And there is supposed to be an oversight function from the legislative body to see that many of these roads are actually constructed and delivered. But what do we have? Like I told, I'm a street guy. I have been within the people that we call people that live in the trenches.
Okay.
And I know that there are many a time they will tell you they have awarded this road and it has been delivered. And nothing seriously has been done in the real sense of it. And these are the corrupt practices. And these are the leakages we were talking about that we will block. When we block all these things, we have more money to do more things. I will do more things in the real sense of doing. We have everybody. When we talk about our broad-based and all-inclusive governance, everybody will be in government. Everybody, including you and I. We will all be in government. And all those people that are less privileged will be in government. The religious bodies will be in government. What do I mean by they will be in government? Everybody will have their role. If you form any organization now, there is no time you form any organization that will not have what you call your aims and objectives of forming your organization. You not have roles that your organizations are supposed to play. Who is monitoring those roles? Is the government giving them the opportunity to even play their roles? Are they having the enabling? Are they having the requisite support to do what they are supposed to do? And that is what government should provide. People in Nigeria are people that are industrious, people that are studious, people that want they have the willpower to do. They are ingenuine. They have the ingenuity, They have the ingenuity to do things. They are diligent people. But the government is killing the will do power, is killing the industriousness in so many of us. And so that's why people just want to leave the shore of this country where they can be well and better appreciated. But if we bring the enabling environment, many people will come from abroad. Many people, many Nigerians, they prefer to live at home here with us to contribute to development of society. And that is what we bring in. So on transportation, I think I've answered that. And on power generation, that is the method we are going to use.
Okay.
We already have them on ground.
Okay.
Just activate us by May 29.
Right.
Vote for us by March 11. May 29, when I'm installed. Within the first 1 month, almost every community, we understand that we have a new sheriff in town.
Okay. We'll talk about that again. But then, in case you're just joining us or just tuning in, this is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Ikami Jude, and I have the Action Alliance governorship candidate in Lagos State just right here in the studio. We're talking about politics in Lagos State. All right. Then we'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more. You see, now this is what I would ask you when we get back.
Okay.
Politics in Nigeria is expensive, very, very expensive. Yes. But I will find out from you who has been bankrolling you all this while
yes.
and all of that.
No
but hold on, when we come back, you answer the question. It's Voice of the People. Stay there. I will be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kule people they strike. We don't become country of strikers.
Even light self, they no fit give us.
Don't run for motor. Even leg self, they get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára, òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọghị ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze teme ka mụ so n'ekio.
Wetin we want na make dem rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Some call it life adjustments, but our world has taken a different but dangerous look.
My husband does not just beat me up, but he uses an object to forcefully remove my finger right before my eyes.
Nigerians hate me. The God of heaven. Oh, God to my rescue.
With happenings that are alien to the human race.
I was in prison for 39 years for a crime I did not commit.
Since I clocked the age of 9, I have always been raped by my father, and now I am 18, and I still battle with him.
Unthinkable, unimaginable, and very unfriendly acts have been recorded in every sphere of human existence. Join Jude Ikame Jude on Matters, weekdays, noon to 3 p.m. on VOP 90.3 FM. As he dissects and addresses these challenges called the new norm in our political, social, religious, and cultural space. But then, are you comfortable with this new norm? Be part of this conversation because your opinion matters.
Yeah, welcome back. It's still Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Don't worry, very soon I'll get to open up the studio line so you can be part of this beautiful conversation with this amiable personality who I have here in the studio. I'm talking about Action Alliance governorship candidate in Lagos State. Okay, welcome back. Like I said, now let's move.
Okay,
I told you. I said politics here in Nigeria is very, very expensive, with capital letters.
Yes.
Now, how have you been able to sponsor some of these things I see you doing around?
Yes, like I said.
Is anyone bankrolling this whole thing?
Actually, like I told you, we are a team of young minds. We sat down and we just like, let's think about this country. Let's look into the future of this country. Let's look at the menace of brain drain that is going all around. I'm an ICT consultant. If I want to leave the shore of this country, I know within the next 6 months I can actually do that using my certifications in different different aspects of ICT that I have attained. I'm not like, okay, why will every one of us want to just escape? Like, that's the word in quotes, escape. And in the real sense, you have not actually escaped. But because your conscience will not be allowing you to live freely, even at that particular sinner climb that you ran to, you will always be missing home. What can we do to mitigate because now almost every doctor is leaving. Almost every health worker, let me just use it generally, is leaving. I haven't been trained in a Nigerian school. When our children get sick, because like I told you, I'm living within the downtrodden. I'm a supporter, a very strong supporter of many people that are not having the opportunity to make ends meet. In fact, it takes me, it's something that has never occurred to me that I want to leave the shore of this country, because like if I leave, what happens to a whole lot of people that I mentor to become better than their present version? What happens to a whole lot of people that I support academically, financially, and intellectually? So that was how we just brought ourselves together from different places. And as we were talking, we were like, there is still hope, there is still light at the end of this tunnel. And one of our leaders, one of our, an elder person, is more elderly than most of us, just promoted the idea of let's have rescue Lagos team. That if Lagos can get it right, he believes Nigeria can get it right. Because we have so many youths domiciled in Lagos.
Yeah.
We cannot all come together to agree on this. But let some people just start something. If we get it right, like the NSAS movement started with few people, but because the truth pinches almost everybody in different places of their foot, different people started joining the movement because it's a movement that supports the masses. So that was how we started NSAS movement. They started, Rescue Lagos movement. That's Rescue Lagos team was the name of the movement, Rescue Lagos team. So with time, we started calling for support. We are using whatever we have. I've sold some items, I've sold property on this cause. I knew that it is not a waste. When you want to have a revolution, you have to sacrifice. So whatever you have seen us done is being done by the small men. Let me just use that quote, small men. We don't have big men around us. Many big men are already aligned to a class of people. Many of them that are not aligned, they are very fearful of supporting us, that they will be traced, and the reprisal attack from those that we are fighting against may not be okay with them. So many of them, they will judge our idea as something that is plausible. They will judge our movement as something that is worthwhile, but giving us the requisite financial and economic support will become a burden. We started this movement with some high-profile people that I want to mention online for security's sake, but they backed off when they saw that we were taking it to reality stage. Because Rescue Lagos team was just a movement to call the attention of the government to stand better in terms of delivering, governance to the people of Lagos. But when we saw that this movement will not actually, because we have an irresponsive government, because you also what happens to the NSAS people when they even came to do memorials the next year, that they want to just do memorials for few hours. They couldn't even withstand that. They had to just go there and scatter everything. Like we told some of our guys that, see, these people will just kill you and they will not budge. They will not budge. Today, there is this argument, there is a massacre, there is no massacre, there is a massacre. If the government is a responsive government, ordinarily there would not be a need to say there is an incident at a particular location because those people were peaceful and the likes. But let me just not divert. Let me not divert our discussion. Let me come back. So we have been our own major sponsor. Small men that are aiming for big things. We have the mindset of to do.
Okay.
We have people that are linked up with us, selling their shares, liquidating so many investments that, okay, in the long run, March 11 is going to be the last day for this war. If we win, it's a win, it's a big win. If we lose to them due to people not coming out to vote for a better option, and they have highest number of valid vote cast more than us, it is still a win for us because through the campaign we have been making, people are getting more enlightened on a daily basis. So it's a win. It's a win-win situation.
Now, Mr. Tokwe, some persons have opined that you should have waited, till say after the 8 years of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to have your own stamp, all right, for you to have your own breakthrough. Why? Because there are some persons who are really in charge of Lagos, and those who don't align with them get nothing. All right, that Lagos is a state for some certain persons. What do you have to say about that?
I think it is fallacious and they make believe thing. It's like movie. When some things happen in movie, people that are in reality, that are living in the world of reality, we know that this is a movie. It is not something that is genuine. And that is what they have been using the media to project, that there are some people in charge of Lagos. I can't really get it. Nobody is in charge of Lagos. Lagos is too big.
Are you sure?
Yes, Lagos is too big for anybody to be in charge of. It is only a government that has aligned itself to be manipulated by some few that will say Lagos is... They are not in charge of anything. If Lagos is in charge of some people, why will we be having 7.5 million registered voters? And since they have been making their big man or big wig proclamations, they have not been able to gather 1 million votes. They will buy votes, they will rig election, they will manipulate results. They will still not have 1 million votes out of 7.5. If you are going to put that at percentage level and score somebody, that person will still be in F9 category now. They say they have scored F something. They have scored F. It's a fail. If you are going to categorize it with our regular standards of judging pass mark. So they are not in charge of anything. You cannot be having 17% or less than 17% control of something and you'll be saying you have it. So
what is your opinion about the Blue Rail Line?
My opinion is that is a colossal waste of our resources for more than 14 years. For you to be on a rail line and you are unable to still complete it by the 16th year. It's a good idea that is well conceived, but poorly implemented, and we know why it is poorly implemented. And you can see that they are rushing to, after almost 4 years, this present governor cannot actually point to anything that can be called achievements, and they have to just start commissioning projects that are incompleted here and there. They commissioned rail lines are supposed to be for long distance and mass movement. They now commissioned the rail line for Marina to Maitu, a very short distance. That's not, I don't even, they said this is the first phase. They are now looking at, I'm like, they just want to commission. They just want to be on the news. They just want to put, and it's just an unfortunate situation that we have a government.
And you still don't feel it's one step at a time.
In fact, when they commissioned it, till now, why has the rail line not been in use by the masses? Because the step is not a step that is balanced. It is just like I've always said in some of my press releases that they are window dressing achievements. They are just window dressing it so that people that are in some world that are not in reality, like some of us, we just applaud them for the sake of being applauded. Why is that rail line not working since they have commissioned it? How many people have applied that rail line? Because that rail line is not usable yet in practical terms. There are so many technicalities that must have been finished before they are supposed to commission. Because in any regular usage of public public facilities, before you commission it, you must have even do some pilot usage. Some people must have been using it. Then you would have taken care of technical errors and the likes before you now say let's commission. But now we are having something that is commissioned and nobody is using it. Where does that happen? If not in Lagos, my dear Lagos, where a lot of abracadabra comes into play when it comes to governance. So that rail line is well conceived, but extremely poorly implemented. And as of today, ask yourself, what is the economic benefit that has been brought into Lagos for the past 14 years or thereabout that rail line has been in place? It has been a waste. And you know, when you have a project, Lagos, even what's it called? Our former transportation minister, Rotimi Amechi. He built so many rail lines within 4 years. Built so many long distance rail lines that is even longer than from Marina to Okoko that we are clamoring for. And those rail lines have started functioning, if not for security issues they had in recent times, to the insurgency and the likes. Was it not something that we all saw? Was that those rail lines or trains, were they not picking people up and dropping them at their various locations? But this one, they started it. They couldn't get anywhere with it. They went ahead to go and commission it. They cannot even start using it till date. I know after today, they will find the way of making people to use it by force, by fire. But the truth is, we cannot see that those things are not what they seems to be in the outside.
Now, let's talk about your party now. Let's talk party affairs.
Okay.
Is alliance in the table? When I mean alliance, I'm talking about if your party discovers that maybe later on they discover that they cannot win the election. You know, is your party thinking of, say, okay, merging or stepping down for another political party? Because you all are talking about the progress of legacy.
The only thing that is consistent is change. When we started, like I told you, we started with Rescue Lagos team. It is not all about coming to adopt a political party. It's not about coming into the election. But as time goes on, we saw that the prominent parties in Lagos are Siamese twins. They are coin of same face. They are only bearing different names. You're
talking about APC and PDP now.
Yes, we all know that. They have similar tendencies here in Lagos. They have fifth columnists representing each other's interest in those places. And at the end of the day, we pulled our men out in different capacity from all those prominent parties. That, see, if we want meaningful change to happen to us in Lagos, we must adopt one of these 16 other parties, one of them. And by the time we got to almost all of them, we saw that there were surrogates in charge of almost all those parties, almost all of them, except few. Then we adopted the one that has something that has to do with the masses. This Action Alliance, the slogan is "Let the masses live." Then the Yoruba version is "Atiha Shawanikoni Ejeki Mekunu Gbaye." So we saw that as something that is captivating. So that in the manifesto is very good for the masses. It's a masses-oriented manifesto, and we adopted that party to propel or continue with our mission of salvaging the interest of residents in Lagos. So the idea of merging or stepping down for other people is something that we can consider when we see somebody or some team that are genuinely like, look at that word, genuine.
Okay.
If we have somebody or some people that are having genuine interest, like we had, that made us to go into Action Alliance, then we can look at an arrangement that can further give us the victory that we think is almost getting assured with the work we have done so far. So there's nothing wrong having alliance. We are even in discussion with some people. We are having some other parties supporting this my candidacy in Lagos already. Right. So I think we are cruising to victory very soon.
It's okay. It's okay. Now let's get to open up the studio line so you can be part of the conversation. Yeah, it's been a very robust one, and hey, it's time to hear your own voice. Yeah, it's very, very important. Of course, here you have a voice. Now you have a voice. Now we are streaming live on all of our social media platforms. Yeah. VOP 903 FM, VOP 90.3 FM. On YouTube, please go there right now and you can watch us live and drop a comment. I have the Alliance, Action Alliance governorship candidate just right here in the studio. And hey, why not? You can ask any question you want to ask him. All right, we're talking about Lagos State, Nigeria. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And of course, our WhatsApp portal is also open. The number is 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039. Before I take these calls, I want to find out, are you okay with the level of PVC collected so far?
Not actually very okay, because we have a poor orientation as Nigerians as regard the purpose of the PVC. So many people have lost hope in the electoral process, and they are not seeing a reason why they should be vying or they should be rushing to collect the PVC. Some of them will still go and collect PVC after the election, because many of them see it as a means to register for bank accounts, to be able to have an identification card that they are Nigerians and the likes. So they have not actually, some of them have not seen the purpose of the PVC as a measure of stamping legitimacy of somebody that should be in government. So the rate at which they have collected is not too good, but it is better than the past, because the advocacy levels continues and people are getting more interested than the previous collection rate. So, but generally, it is not the best. It is not in the best interest of people that are clamoring for change.
Do you think INEC is ready for this election?
Yes, I think they are ready. From what
I'll take you to another phase right now, because a whole lot is happening in Nigeria right now. Fuel scarcity, cash scarcity, food scarcity, so many other things. Do you think INEC is ready for this election?
All those things you mentioned are not in the purview of INEC to make decision upon. So they are ready.
No, but
they are ready for this election. So it is the federal government now that should be asked if they are going to do their part, so that INEC can deliver on this policy.
No, do you think all of these things I mentioned would not play out against the election?
Well, all of those things.
The conduct of the election, or peaceful conduct of the election, rather.
If we look at the agitations within the society at large, definitely they will play out. But then, because of the design of the way we conduct our elections in Nigeria, ordinarily on the day of election, everybody will be at home. So you will not need to transport yourself from anywhere to anywhere.
Okay.
Then ordinarily, if not for the inadequacy of the cash flow around the community. Everybody will have something to buy food, stuff, and they like to eat at home. So it is only those people that are intending to use money to buy votes that may be seriously affected, not INEC per se. So it will affect us, but it may not stop the election from going ahead, because there are not major factors that will hinder election material from getting to the point of point of distribution for people that want to cast their vote. It's not a factor, or they are not factors that will hinder people from coming out to cast their vote, because ordinarily there will be a national holiday and people will be around where they are going to vote. So
I've heard from several quarters, some persons saying that they are scared that this election might not hold. Have you also heard that?
It's sometimes it's something that happens because of very fears of the way the whole thing is turning, and the new technology that is on ground is making so many people jittery, especially those that are used to a particular. When you have a particular system, and we are now having innovations, the natural tendency is to be fearful of the outcome of such innovation. Now we are talking about an innovation that is going to be on a large scale.
Okay.
So people are like, if it fails, what happens to the election that we are going to be having in the long run? But they are not looking at it from the perspective of it. If it succeeds, it will be a victory for many common men like us. Yes, it will be a victory because the common men are more. This is democracy. Democracy says during elections, the highest number of valid vote cast will determine the winner of an election. The common men are much more in number than the big men that are using the manipulative tendency of their economic power to push the common men out of the race many a time. So if the common men can now come together on a 4 years basis, they will always determine the best for them without having to be manipulated, because they will not have the fears that what we cast is not what is going to be declared. Because in the past has always been we cast our vote for Mr. A, but Mr. B is eventually declared the winner because there are manipulations at the stage. Okay. But now everybody is going to see the results in every polling unit. Immediately it has been snapped and uploaded on the INEC server. So that means the big men, we have to convince the common men a whole lot. They may not be, the effect may not have been felt, or may not be felt very well in this forthcoming election. But if it is sustained, the big men will have to work seriously for the common men to support them. Or else the common men will continue to bring somebody among themselves to be at that spot of leadership to protect their interest.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Tope Babatunde
Balogun.
Tope Balogun Abdulrasaq,
yes.
Or is it Tope Abdulrasaq Balogun?
Tope Abdulrasaq Balogun. Tab.
Okay, tab.
Yes.
I love that.
So many things are plugged on me to deliver on the policies that we have been making. So I'm the tab. Yes.
I love that. Okay, we'll go on this short break. And when we come back, we'll start taking calls, okay? We'll go on this short break. Stay there. It's Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Some call it life adjustments, but our world has taken a different but dangerous look.
My husband does not just beat me up, but he uses an object to forcefully remove my finger right before my eyes.
Agnes, help me. The God of heaven. Oh, what God to my rescue.
With happenings that are alien to the human race.
I was in prison for 39 years for a crime I did not commit.
Since I clocked the age of 9, I have always been raped by my father, and now I am 18, and I still battle with him.
Unthinkable, unimaginable, and very unfriendly acts have been recorded in every sphere of human existence. Join Jude Ikame Jude on Matters, weekdays, noon to 3 p.m. on VOP 90.3 FM. As he dissects and addresses these challenges called the new norm in our political, social, religious, and cultural space. But then, are you comfortable with this new norm? Be part of this conversation because your opinion matters.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even kole people they strike. We don't become country of strikers.
Even light self, they no fit give us.
Don't run for motor. Even leg self will get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango ṣe.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọghị ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze teme ka muna so n'ekio.
Wetin we want na make dem rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Okay, welcome back. We're just right there on the last lap right now, and this time around, well, you can call in now to, be part of the conversation. You can call in now to ask him any question you want to ask. Okay, he is the governorship candidate of Action Alliance, right here in Lagos State. Okay, Abdulrasaq Balogun. Tokbe Abdulrasaq Balogun. Tab 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. Don't forget, we're streaming live on YouTube. All right, so it means you can also go there and drop a comment for us. Okay, on YouTube. It's VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube, okay? VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube. Or you can type it in full, Voice of the People 90.3 FM, okay? And of course, the WhatsApp number is just right there and open. The WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039, okay? 0700 903 9039. That's the number to call. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Fidelis.
Welcome, Fidelis.
Okay. I have the name goes to the call. I have a question to the man of the studio there.
Okay.
The contesting for governor of Lagos State.
All right.
Okay, my question is simple. I want to know why did he make this such move? What gave him the confidence to pick a form in that party of Action Alliance? And why did he say himself that he's capable, competent, and he has the confidence to contest the gubernatorial election with the incumbent governor, the PDP governorship, and the Labour Party? What gave him that? I want to know why what gave him that confidence. What that boosted his morale?
All right.
To pick some to contest.
All right. Thank you. You heard what he said.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I see myself as having the requisite character, training, knowledge, and capacity to deliver on my promise, and I don't have a godfather that will bamboozle me to a corner and that will eventually not make me to be able to do what Lagosians needed. So I've been in politics for more than 2 decades. I've been part of different political process and system, and I've worked with different high-profile politicians that had made me to see through government, and I've seen that the major challenge is not that the resources to be used to make our lives better as Nigerians are not there. It's not that they are not there, but it is because the willpower and the kleptomaniac system made people inherit from their predecessor or leaders, made them to also follow suit. So when you are trained by people that are for the service delivery, you want to actually take after your mentors. So many people that are contesting are actually taking after their mentor, and their mentors are people we have seen that they always want to usurp the interest of the masses. So I have the confidence that with my trainer being late Latif Jakonde and people that like I've met on this process, like I told you, I've worked with different high-profile politicians that have like minds, like people like NDLA chairman presently. I've had opportunity of having interactions with him at several levels, and I saw when he told us there that Lagos State is easy to govern. I personally have had a reservation that it was possibly because it was in the military era, things have changed. But now that it's in the NDLA, everybody is seeing what he's doing and achieving within the short period he took over. So it is all about the willpower to do things. And I have the academic qualification, I have the political experience, I have the social interactions that made me to understand vividly how things are in the larger society. I have the practical understanding of what people really needed. And that is why we are talking about the mantra of equity and not the mantra of giving them what you think you want to give them. It's giving them what they actually want. I have the understanding that the street urchins are created deliberately by the bourgeoisie that are in the upper echelon of the class to using the masses, the people of the downtrodden, which I have opportunity to mingle with every day. They are creating the street urchins by not giving us a good schooling system where we have our children going through the schools to be eventually indoctrinated into become gangsters and become clandestine workers for the politicians or for themselves or other people of such mind. So that is what gave me the mindset that if we are talking about a social change, we must walk the talk. We should not just sit down at the corner of our house and complain. I've worked with them for more than 20 years, and we can't just continue to complain that they are not doing it right. If it is a game of number, then I have to pull up the numbers of people that believe that we need a change, like me, and we pull ourselves together, and we are not going to be having to align with any of these bad guys, because they will eventually not make it work. And we have been sacrificing our resources, ardent resources. We have been sacrificing our comfort, and we have been taking the bull by the horn. And as of today, I believe we have gathered enough masses. Like I told you earlier on, this election will be won by tactics. It will be won by intelligence and strategies. It will not be won by the common method that we are used to. And that is why you will never see us dancing all around and risking people's life, where they will be macheted, they will be shot at, and eventually they will be reducing the number of your prospective voters, and they will be creating fears in people that are supposed to be your supporters. We have been meeting people to get their commitment. We have been meeting people to convince them. We have been coming online, radio, television station, every other place. We can talk to people about our mission, and we are telling them we are dedicated to it. So if you look at those people that you have mentioned before, go and look at their integrity. They have questionable characters. They have had agreement with people. They have had agreement with individuals. They have messed up some of those individuals. Some of those people would have come on here to say they had an agreement, but that person did not follow the agreement. But we don't have such a thing. I told you we have been working with people for more than 20-something years. And as of today, I know we have been straight, and we have been committed to good governance. And that is our character. And our character will never change. You follow your mentor with character, and my mentor are people of proving work.
Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. I have here with me a governorship candidate. Now, I want to find out, do you think this forthcoming election will be conducted, in a free and fair manner?
To a large extent, it will be free and fair, except that the politicians will always want to bring in their demons, the demons in them, to obstruct the freeness and the willingness of the free will of people. They will always want to obstruct that. This is not abnormal to see such in a democracy that has not fully developed. But like me and my team, like I told you, we have astute politicians amongst us. We have people that are in different career paths that are professionals. I told you I'm an ICT consultant. I'm a data analyst. We can do so much. If you give us any data, we can bring projections out of what we are able to gather. And what we eventually saw that the combination of the louts, the thugs, let me say the thugs, the politicians combined are not up to 500,000. So they cannot be in everywhere. They will in Lagos State, like that's what I'm saying now. So they will only try their best. But the will of the people, as much as possible, will eventually determine the next governor of Lagos State.
All right. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Okay.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Esther.
Welcome, Esther. Let's hear from you. All right. Now, I would find out something if in Lagos State, for instance, the clamor against the Agberos that you mentioned right now is on a high. Like, people want these guys off the street like yesterday. And someone sent a message in and said, what will you do to tackle this menace?
We already map out our plans on that. See, the first thing is to block their recruitment channel. And that is what I'm talking about, free, accessible, and effective education, where we are going to build more classes to pull many of these pupils or many of these prospective learners back to the school. If they are back to the school, they are having lesser number of pupil or students in various classes. The teachers can monitor them. There can be synergy between the parents and the teachers to monitor, to build a better version of all these students. Then you would have reduced to a very barest minimum the recruitment centers of these Agberos. Now, having done that, we will now tackle straight on those people that we refer to as Agberos. Firstly, there are some of them that are registered under the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers and other transportation workers union. There are some of them that are registered, that are not registered, that are just doing their own without anybody. Now, if that is if those ones are identified appropriately, those ones that are not having anywhere they are attached, we have to be battled with outrightly, such that at the end of the day they go and find a work. We are going to be creating more works. We are going to be creating more jobs. Then anybody that is not ready to work and is not a member of all those registered unions will be dealt with appropriately using the method we have outlined. We are not going to be taking all of them to our prisons. Yes, we are going to be giving them social work to do. We are going to be having farms.
Okay. We
are going to be having centers where they can be developed, so that at the end of the day they will be going to farms to improve on our agricultural produce, and they'll be giving orientation within the 3 years or 4 years they will be spending behind the screen, so that when they are out, they will become a better version of themselves. Then for those that are registered, we will not allow them. The menace is not all about being Agberos. It is because the way they are operating, coming into every junctions to beat up people. We will ask them not to come to different bus stops. They have taken all over every bus stop. We are going to have the garages being managed by the local government, because that's the work of the local government.
Okay.
To manage garages. But today we have Lagos State usurping almost every responsibility of the local government and are making them redundant at the local government and making management of those places ineffective. Because when you take too much of things that you cannot actually have provision for, they will be mismanaged. But when you have the garages that are being managed by local government and you are giving them an outright instruction that we don't want to see your people on our roads, then we are going to be, because there is another issue of this traffic jam.
Of course.
One of those things that causes traffic jam is this Agbero menace. They will allow people to park anywhere on our roads because they want to collect money from them. There is no regular bus stops. Today, Lagos State is contributing to that. Almost all the bus stops, they are supposed to be setbacks where the cars or commercial buses are supposed to drive in, just like what we eventually had when Ambode became governor at Bega.
Okay.
If you are used to Bega before Ambode developed that aspect of their parking system, you know that immediately you are coming into Lagos at Bega, there will be so much hold up because those louds will be there, parking, but it created, that is what's supposed to happen in many of our bus stops. But what did Lagos State do? Lagos State was just building markets in most bus stops. You cannot be building markets in most bus stops and you will not expect that there will be traffic jam. They are supposed to be setbacks where people park, then the market should be in, so that the parking space will be enough for people that are coming to the market and people that are just having a transit to drop their passenger, pick up passenger and move on. And we will tell them, no, Agbero must be at most of those bus stops. And in time you flout the rule of the government, you will be picked up. And the commercial vehicle will have a method of being checked at particular points to know if they are paid their dues for a day. Whenever they pay their due, the receipt will go along with them, and we only need enforcement officer and monitoring officers that will check them at a particular point, not what we have here where they have messed up everywhere. And this is because most of these guys that did not finish secondary school or they finished secondary school that the government does not have a provision for in the larger society, we wake up one day and say, how can I just sit down? And one of my friends that I can beat up is going there, coming back to build house, coming back. So we just go and join them and they start beating people up. The only thing they do is beat up anybody, collect money by force, by fire. And that is why people are now scared and getting to be they are repugnant people presently. They are being repulsive because of their style of doing things.
Okay. 0700 903
So
903.
I think with this model, Agbero will be a thing of the past. Or let me say the menace of Agbero will be a thing of the past, because Agbero is just a junior stuff and they should just be in the garage and they should have a method of doing things right. And there will be a method of reporting them if they have excesses, and their leadership will be made to face the wrath of law if they encourage them on their clandestine activities.
All right, let's talk about the bigger picture now. As we begin to wind up. But then don't worry, I'm still taking calls. Okay, just keep your calls coming in. 0700 903 903 903. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. Now there has been a certain clamor from some quarters. All right, that an Igbo man should become the president of Nigeria. While some have said, no, let's queue behind Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And some are saying, no, it should be the turn of Hausa man, to become the main. Continue, from where, Buhari stopped. Let Hausa just continue. That is the candidacy of Atiku Abubakar. Now, in your own candid opinion, who do you think should be given that mantle?
A Nigerian, a complete Nigerian that is not a tribal by.
Hold on, let me take this call. Let me take this call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Godwin. I'm calling from Ikoto.
Can you move away from your radio set, please? All right. Talk to us now.
The young man that you are interviewing is highly intelligent. I admire his faith. But my fear is that voting in Lagos doesn't necessarily number of people that vote for you. That godfatherism that catch on Lagos. I don't know what you are thinking to do about that.
Okay, I think I told you I've been part of the system for more than 2 decades. For more than 20 years, I've been following these people. I've been learning. I've been part of everything that is called politicking in Lagos, and I've been part of the ruling party. I went into opposition, so I've seen so many things. If I had been employed, in any of the growing institutions, I think I should be at the managerial level with 20 years experience. So I know and I understand that this is the best time for us to come out. And this is the best time because we studied the Electoral Act very well. And the Electoral Act favors the masses this time around. But many a time we are used to, when something becomes too much consistently pronounced, it becomes the norms. Like, it's a waste of votes. Whether you vote or you do not vote, they already determined the winner. If they have already determined the winner, they will not be campaigning rigorously. They will not be giving you money, sharing rice to take your votes. They know that it must be a vote, even if they are going to manipulate. Now, today, the Electoral Act has now given us opportunity to reduce manipulation.
Okay.
We know everything. Anything you want to talk about rigging, we understand it before now. And I want to tell you, 98.9%, if not 100%, I want to use the human error value that we normally put in when doing data analysis of rigging and manipulations has been cut off or mitigated through this Electoral Act. The only thing you needed is to have your agents at the polling unit that will make sure that it is the vote cast, the record made on that form, the result sheet, that is uploaded on the INEC server and not any other thing. If your agent is able to make them upload it at the point of voting, which is the rule, then there's no way anybody can go because the stages of manipulation in the past is when you cast your votes. By the time they are taking your results to the World Collation Center, something must have happened. They must have had another prepared result that they will just exchange for whatever all of you agreed upon at the polling unit. Then, when they are now collating in a broad sheet from the world level, they are supposed to take it to the possibly local government level or constituency level, depending on type of election you are doing. So they will now be adjusting the results in that board sheet that will be brought for final collation. Then if it is a state result, before they now bring it to the local government, then before somebody will now come and declare fake result. Because we have so many multiple units, to get the real value from all those polling units will be very, very hard. That's why you have your agents now submitting. By the time you are now collating what your agent submitted with the eventual results. But what my agent submitted, I had 1 million votes. But at the end of the day, INEC is declaring it. It is not the fault of the Resident Electoral Commission, Shona, that is making declaration. It is the fault of so many people that have betrayed the interest of the masses. But now, INEC now said, okay, instead of us having arguments that there is manipulation of the results at different stages, the result from the polling unit should be uploaded on the INEC
on the
server. Automatically, through the INEC server results, you will be getting a real-time information about what is happening to your results in almost all the polling units. Okay. So with that, we have stopped manipulation. So that is why today, if you look at the pattern, if you have been in Lagos for some time, they don't normally do the campaign they are doing the way they are doing it now aggressively. They are even having 10 million, target of 5 million voters to vote for them. Well, because I told you, they have never even had 1 million votes in the past. Because they are always comfortable that no matter the result, somebody is somewhere that will manipulate and give them the winning result.
Okay.
So they are not bothered about they are winning about with 1 million or they are winning about with 2 million votes. All they know is that their results should be higher. Their votes should be higher.
But do you think that can happen in this election?
What?
The forthcoming election?
What's
the
that?
manipulation you're talking about?
Manipulation will be reduced. That's what I just explained. It will be reduced.
Okay, not that
it will be
it won't be there, but it will be reduced.
To a very large extent. The manipulation that may happen is influencing voters through inducement of giving them gifts, cash gifts or material gifts. That's the only thing that can actually be manipulative in nature. But the actual vote count will be the result that will be declared. And that is why they are working seriously. They are giving people money. They are having people's accounts. Some people have been paid already.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How?
They have taken their account, have credited their accounts. Ahead of the election. I'm a politician. I'm a grassroots person, like I told you. I move like I'm just that person that is involved. I'm not a big man politician.
So it means right now voters know who they are voting for.
Many voters, and that is why I said they will be shocked. Many voters already made conclusions, and some people that are random voters are still looking at. Like I'm here now talking to people. You see people calling. You see people make commendations. Possibly they may change their mind. But some people will be induced. Some people will collect the money and still vote for the right candidate, which is me. Because my own mantra is bringing comfort to the masses. That's the job of anybody that is in government. It is not that after government you will be telling you will be here, they have estate here, they have estate there, and they will die at the end of the day not taking any of the estates to where they are going in the grave. People that mentored some of us, you don't see them having houses here and there. I told you 2 of them. Go and check the records of their property in Lagos. You don't have them having estates here and there. They live an humble life till death. The person that is alive is still living humble life.
0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. Okay, yeah, don't forget that. 0700 903 903 903. Yeah, keep your calls coming in. Let's see. We have a couple of messages here. Let's see if I can take maybe just one or yeah. Okay, let me just hold on and take this call first. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Sorry, good afternoon.
Welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken.
Welcome, Ken.
From Sanwo, Duffy.
All right.
Yeah, like your man was just talking about issue of vote buying. I've called before to ask, can people be stopped? Advise not to take phone into the polling booths, because for you to prove that you voted for somebody, then you may have to snap your the paper to show where you voted. But if NEC will make it that keep your phone outside the cubicle, then after voting, come out and take your vote. It may help, because that's the only way you can prove to the person that you, because like he said, that some people will collect money and still they will not vote for that person. So but they know, politicians, they know the game too. They know that some people may collect money, some people who know that people don't really want them. They will know that people may want to just chop their money and vote the person they want to vote. So is it not possible? Because the only way they will know who you voted for is for the proof is on that paper. So is it not possible for INEC, use your office to push it that INEC should make people not to, there's no need you snapping inside the cubicle. What are you snapping? I think
INEC already did that. I think INEC already banned taking of.
Sorry, sir. At this point, we are no more thinking. We have to confirm it. People like you should be able to push it.
INEC actually mentioned it. I think 2 months ago, INEC mentioned it. Now it's like so many laws are in operations in Nigeria. Enforcement has always been the problem and the challenge. So that's why the agents that we are deploying to many of these polling units must stand their grounds. And I hope the security officers that will be deployed won't compromise the election. If they are not compromising, any agent that raises observation should be respected, and the person that is violating will be asked to stop by not taking his phone or her phone to the cubicle.
Good afternoon to you.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah.
There is a question you asked that young man earlier. But a call came in. He could not be able to answer that question.
Okay.
That was you were asking about the presidential candidate.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, we're still here. Don't worry. Just keep listening.
Okay. So please, I need the answer to that question.
No, he won't run away from it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, should I go on that question?
Yes, please. Okay. Let's just do that quickly.
Okay.
But then I wouldn't want you to go logical the way you want to.
Actually, I've not even landed.
I knew where you went. Okay, talk to us about the presidential election.
I'm going to vote in a Nigerian that is not a tribal bigot in any way. And I think that is where we should be going as youths in politics. We are not supposed to follow the negative mindset that is being put out there, where people are being profiled, and at the end of the day, you just see people saying somebody is an Igbo man, somebody is an Hausa man, somebody is a Yoruba man. That is the reason for voting. I think we are not getting it right. We should look at people. Like I've told you, my own mission is to come and bring succor, bring every paraphernalia of the government to provide succor for residents of Lagos State. Who is talking about the dividends of democracy best among them? Not person that is just trying to say, because I am this, I must be this. So individuals have the right to vote for whomever they want to vote for. But I only give a general advice that you look for the best. I schooled in the East. Okay. I told you I went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I even served at Abia. So, and I was schooling there as a Nigerian. Nobody is telling me you are from the Yoruba part of Nigeria. This must be the type of lifestyle you must use here for you to be accepted into the community. So when I use the money of Nigeria, I use Naira and Kobo. I buy with Naira and Kobo, and we all agree that this is the legal tender that binds us together. So I think all those ideas of this is where somebody comes from is as a result of bad governance that has happened to us in the past, and we have to go away from that. That's why we are taking over Lagos. If the youths can come together and let us take over Lagos, and we establish the type of government we want to establish in Lagos, where everybody that lives in Lagos will be part of the
Mr.
government.
Mr.
Tokwe, we are going to get
now, you said you would vote for a Nigerian.
That is not bigot politically. That's not a tribal or religious bigot. That is a Nigeria, a complete Nigeria. I want to tell me about the dividends that I'm going to enjoy.
This cap you weaved, right?
Yes.
Who does it fit?
Well, I'm not going to be mentioning that. I'm a political. I'm a politician with a political party that has a presidential candidate. So I think we should go and consider my presidential candidates too. All the names you mentioned, you did not mention the name of.
Will you vote for your presidential candidate? Or you want to vote for?
I have the right to vote for him. I have the right not to vote for him. So I think nobody should force anybody to say this is where. In fact, one of the things that we should respect most is oath of secrecy. That every electorate should swear to INEC ordinarily that I'm going to vote for somebody that the second person will not know the person I'm voting for.
But you know, these days, people just.
And that is why
I can tell you I'll vote for this, I'll vote for A, B, C.
Yes, and at the end of, you see, that is what is giving us the social problem we are having now.
Because you also rightly said some persons have collected money
to
vote for.
I can tell you I want to vote for Mr. A, but in me, I can just go ahead and vote for Mr. B. That is the oath of secrecy I'm talking about. You can advocate anything and go and vote your mind. Somebody you think will be the best for you and the next generation that is coming after you. Government is continual. Whatever bad precedent you set today is going to affect the people that are coming behind you. And that is why somebody like me, I always advise people.
Hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts, please. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Welcome.
This is Patrick from Yaba.
All right.
So I think I really appreciate your program this afternoon. I think what somebody should consider in choosing the president this time, I think we should consider the past. One, consider the fact that the president of now, the current president, being a man from the north, is a Muslim. So being a Muslim and after that, the next government, the next president should come to the south, and it should be a Christian. So we are talking about sentiment, that we should forget about the issue of sentiment. That's right. But is it good after a Muslim and then a Muslim again for another 8 years? I think that is quite impromptu. It's very, very improper. So I think what we have seen so far, that after the 3 candidates that be on the front line that we have seen, that we see that Bola Tinubu being a Muslim and taking somebody that is accused to be Boko Haram, which is so confirmed that it's a Boko Haram. So and Atiku Abubakar being a man from the north again, and another Muhammad Buhari again, with what they are seeing today, killings and everywhere. I think these 2 people, if we are to say, neutrally, with good conscience, these 2 people, these 2 candidates are not good candidates to say so far. I am telling you the truth. If any of these 2 candidates be the president of this country, Nigeria, what we are seeing today, we will see more. I am telling you this. It may be a prophet, but I am telling you the truth. So based on this, these 2 candidates are not too good for Nigeria. They are not for the good of Nigeria. I am from the south. But when I see people from the south, being deceived by those that want to be governor under the PDP, campaigning for Atiku Abubakar, I used to pity them. Because I am quite sure that Atiku Abubakar will not win. Atiku Abubakar should know that after 8 years of a Fulani man from the north, he should go to the south. And going to the south, he should be a Christian. It's not for the Muslim. If you see, for instance, now, you go to the ministry, you go to the paramilitary, you go to the ministry, you see that the Christians have been victimized. Christians have not given appointment anywhere. As you see in the government of Muhammad Buhari today, in his cabinet, all his cabinet appointments from the north are all Sudanese. And that is what is happening in the ministry, paramilitary. So this time there should be a Christian, not a Muslim, not even a Muslim. So that is my take. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate your call.
I think the person that just called is getting everything muddled up. Does that mean we are going to be bringing a Christian so that he can come and revenge the wrongs of our incumbent president, so that he can come and start appointing Christians only, also Southerners only, also, and the Northerners will not say, hey, the Muslims are not being given opportunities, and the Northerners are, no, this is wrong. I think we are trying to use wrong to combat wrongfully. And the right thing we should be talking about is social justice, equity, where somebody that will coming up will be fair to all. It is not because somebody is a fool animal, all these things, we are just digging holes for ourselves the more. We are not trying to block the loopholes. The loopholes should be that we should remove sentiments. If the person that is going to do it right is from the south, let's vote for him en masse and mobilize people based on what he's going to do.
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Daniel from Apapa.
Daniel, let's hear you.
Okay, my take is just like what the last caller said. The issue is not just about religion or whatever, but on that, what your guest is trying to say here, to look at the person who has competency, who can be able to do this, can be able to deliver. And last time I called, I said something like what the former president Olusegun said on his own state when he talked about 3 people. He said that maybe the 3 person that Obi is preferable. Now, if you look, Obasanjo is like a father to this nation, and these 3 top candidates have worked with him. They have worked with him. Now he said that these 3 people, they are working together. He has looked at them, at least 2 of those people. He knows their character, like the one of Lagos State. He has issue with him. The one who is in his vice, he has issue with him. Then he said, the other one is still to be lawyer. And if you look at it, it's true. What he's saying is true. If you have a man who has a child now, maybe 3 child, I wanted to go and pick somebody, and the father say, out of this three of my children, this one is the best. Who will you go for? See what that one that is pointing. This Obasanjo has become the president of this nation, and these three people work with him. And he said that this one, this out of these three people, this one is the one that is loyal, that can hear people's voice. Okay, number one, when he was in president, he has issue with Tinubu. Up to today, can I ask you, in Lagos State, how many local governments do we have? The federal government recognizes about 20 local government, but I believe Lagos have about 57, which the governor do by himself. The other one being the vice, there was a time he suspended, so he have known their character, known that these ones, they will not obey the law. So let us follow. There are men of the city, there are elders of the city. That's why I don't know why some others kept quiet and all this is happening in the country. But this one came up, Abacha came up to speak. God will bless. I want to stop there. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate your call. Thank you. Thank you. All right. 0700 903 903 903. Yes, the number to call. We'll be wrapping up pretty soon anyway, but then I just want to see if I can entertain a few more calls before we wrap things up this beautiful afternoon. Well, Mr. Tokbe, let's wrap things up right now, but then I want to find out what would be your advice to Lagosians, to youths right now, like you, all right, in the country, those preparing to vote or those who have their PVCs ready? What would be your advice for them? But that will be after this call. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Engineer Jude.
All right.
Yeah, all those clamoring for the open along with this election, they should stop deceiving themselves. Nobody will see Nigerian election, presidential election is more beneath the eyes. Some people, you think somebody will just come all of a sudden from nowhere to say he wants to contest for the presidential election. Atiku has been contesting for a long time. Bola Tinubu has been planning this thing for 8 years. That was why he said a middle come. Nobody will just sit. They have been making friends, connecting themselves, connecting their cronies in the north and in the south here. Obi will, even in the southeast, Obi will be let down. His own people will let him down. His own people, I am telling you, I am sure of that one. His own people will let him down. For me, the best candidate, the most experienced of all of them is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I'm not campaigning for him, but I'm telling you, come 25th, God keeping us alive. On the 26th or the 27th, we hear the presidential results. So all those saying this is a thief, nobody, you can't say. You say Atiku is a thief. Atiku has never been president before. He has never been governor. He was just a vice president. And we all know in this country, vice presidents are spare tires. But deputy governors are spare tires. It's only their principal that gives instruction. Let us wait until he becomes a president before we will know. Under PDP, the dollar was 167. Under PDP, bag of rice was 7,500 naira. Things were good. Things were fantastic. It was under this APC, things became scattered. So let people not come and say Atiku is a bad man. Nobody knows. No. Atiku has never governed before. He was only vice president. We cannot come now and say Oshibanjo is a bad man. He doesn't do that. No, you cannot blame Oshibanjo for the inadequacies of Buhari. So please let us forget about Obasanjo and what he said. He has a personal hatred against Atiku. We all know that one due to the 2003 election. So for us, Atiku is the man to be. I am articulated. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you so very much. You were saying something.
Yes, my advice to the youths like me and people that have similar interest like me is that we should not follow the bandwagon for the sake of following it. Yes, we should not. It's time to...
Can you hold on, please? Please hold on. Good afternoon to you.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Quickly, please.
This is John calling for the server.
All right.
Yeah, well done, sir.
Fine. Let's hear you quickly, please.
Okay. Sorry. I want to talk about the last caller. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
The last caller, yeah, he said that he was supporting Atiku Abubakar. Yeah, right? My talk about this. Yes, maybe Nigeria we easily forget something. When Atiku was a vice president, did he have a good record? He don't have a good record. Atiku is a corrupt man. Let's just say it's a Muslim. You cannot just from a Hausa man and jump back to a Hausa man. That is my thought.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I think, yeah. Please, let's just wrap up. Your final thoughts, please.
Okay.
Because several calls are coming in. You know, when you touch, when someone calls in and speak against
a
particular candidate, then that person is always.
Yes, I think Nigerians are still yet to develop to what is required for an informed electorate. Well, be that as may, I think I want to advise everybody out there that come March 11, which is the election I'm vying for, the governorship seat of Lagos should be handed over to me through the ballot by casting their votes for the best man for the job, which is me, going through the manifestos, going through the experience, going through the mindset and bringing on board to contest for this election. We have the resources to become the best of the best states in the whole world, not only in Nigeria, in the whole world. Lagos State has the best of resources that can make it the best, and you need somebody of willpower to make it actualized, and that is talked by Abdulrasaq Balogun of the Action Alliance. A vote for me is a vote for confidence, a vote for success, a vote for succor, a vote for tranquility, and a vote for comfort, where you not need to run out of Nigeria like an escapee from the prison. Lagos State is a home that is livable, enjoyable, and progressive in nature. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so very much. I just want to give these callers, all right, a few minutes to just let me hear what they have to say before we go. Just few minutes, okay? Yeah. Let's do this quickly. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Quickly,
Good
please.
afternoon.
Quickly.
Okay. Sanwo is speaking from Balogun. Yes, I want to contribute to your program. People just clamoring for Peter to be. I don't know, because a house cannot just build in a day. Before you can build your house, you have to plan very well. I hope you are hearing me. So now, somebody just come from nowhere and they say want to win. Before Buhari become a president, you know how many times when don't contest this thing? He say upon the population he have for North and all this, they don't win. Then Article 2, you can see all this state. They don't try, you don't win. So to win a Nigerian president, it's not just you just come up tomorrow and then you just catch it. It doesn't possible like that. You have to build many bridges before you can be able to cross it. I hope you are hearing me.
Yeah.
So even the way they say I think it's a bad person, this and that. You know, say sharing. When two armed robbers share money, if you cheat one, they don't go tell you the reason why they are fighting. So Obasanjo and Atiku, waiting make them to be enemy. You don't go no. Now sharing.
Thank you.
When you share and you can't kill somebody, go say it's a bad person.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me allow you now. Thank you. I need to let's hear from some other persons quickly. All right. Our time is fast spent. I don't know. I just want to see if we can hear from say one or two more persons, and we're good to go. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon, engineer. Just calling.
All right.
Yes, somebody called and said Atiku is a corrupt person. The last time I checked, it's only a competent court of jurisdiction that can pronounce somebody corrupt and that can convince a man. Atiku has never been found to be corrupt, not in a court of law or any other institution. So for somebody to say Atiku is corrupt, and the last time somebody said this zone has roots, the Hausa man has roots, the Fulani man has roots. In my state, I'm from Delta State. I'm from the Delta South Senatorial District. My zone has never governed Delta State. My zone has only gotten a slot since 1999 to date. We have only gotten 4 years in the Senate. The Shekiri and the Judge, they are the one controlling the governorship seats and the senatorial seats now. And I told my people, we have to come together. Nobody gets power. You go and you fight for power. Nobody gives you anything free when it comes to politics. You fight for it. You go for it. So the Eastern people don't let them not think power will just be given to people be like that. Nobody does that. You fight.
Thank you.
That was why.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, our time is fast spent. I think I have to go now. But then, the basic thing is, please, if you're listening to me right now, go get your PVC. Simple. If you want to fight with your PVC. You want to argue with your PVC. Coming here to talk is not just enough. If I have the opportunity to take more calls, I'll do that. But then, the best thing is to do it with your PVC, and we're just good to go. Okay. On 26th or 27th of this same month, we'll get to find out who will eventually become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to appreciate once again the governorship candidate of Action Alliance, right, in Lagos State, Mr. Tope Abdulrasaq Balogun, for coming to the studios of Voice of the People 90.3 FM.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. We're good to see. I think we'll be expecting you anytime again.
No problem.
Maybe after the election, right?
Yes. I may be coming here as the elected governor of Lagos State.
Okay.
Possibly.
Amen.
Thank you.
And my name is Jude. Ikami Jude. Do follow me on Facebook or on Instagram at Ikami Jude. Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. IKAMIJUDEH. And of course, follow Voice of the People across all of our socials at VOP903 FM. I'll be here tomorrow from 12:15 up until 3 p.m. but to discuss something really, really different. But it concerns you. Thank you so very much for listening. I'm out of here. Good afternoon to you.